To my Instagram.
What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo.
Just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
I'm sorry,
Gonna make a deal with this diabolical bitch.
What you saying?
If you're back.
We are here live at the world premiere of Justice League.
At the stage. We're back in it. We are back in it.
Barely back in it, man.
The Justice League.
Check. Just getting some stuff figured out, guys. Let me go on there and look at what we're sounding like, what we're looking like.
Yeah, I think we're good.
As you guys can tell, we don't have fucking Tribe today, so.
Yeah, buddy.
Boom. All right.
Right, we're ready. We're going live. We're ready for it.
We are a little bit quiet. We'll get it a little bit louder. We sound good?
Yeah.
Anybody in here? Do we sound good?
Yeah, we
Let me get this
got a
shared.
few folks in here.
Sorry about the scratching out. I'm kind
We're
of.
going to talk a little finance. Going to give some tickets away to Rapping the Rivers. It's going to be a good show.
Let's get this shared. You sound really good, Fred. I got to leave you where you're at.
Okay, cool.
Why am I scratching out so much? Does that sound good?
Yeah, you're good over here.
All right, let's talk our shit. It's good to see you guys in here today. It's the Justice League podcast. Me and Fred are the only ones here today because Tribe's got some stuff going on. Let me turn my phone off. Hopefully it sounds good. If we get too loud or too quiet, you guys are going to have to let us know because I'm on the soundboards today and I kind of messed stuff up trying to even get this shit running. So.
But you got to run, and that's the main thing. So,
yeah.
In the end.
Do you like the super close up on us, Fred, today, or you like that?
Yeah, I think let's roll
away?
with that. It gives us a different kind of little feel there. So let's
it's
roll
just the
with
two
it.
of us. So
it's just the two of us.
I'm not used to having the camera in Tribe's position, guys.
Austin, what's up, my bro? How you doing? So yeah, man. We got access. Maybe play a couple videos or something. If we got some,
we can do that stuff.
Run through some of Filth and Foul stuff. They got some great stuff. So.
Bro, I cannot hear my headphones whatsoever. There we go. I'm fucking feel like I'm really quiet or something's going on. Boom. But whatever.
Yeah,
let's
so
get into
welcome to another edition of the Justice League podcast starring Micah, as we like to call him, Mr. Prince Lockett. We have Ira, who is obviously Tribe. Me, Freddie Dub, Big Drac. Today it's just me and Prince doing the damn thing today. I figure we could segment this in a few different kind of ways. There's been some things that have been happening on social media that are pretty big deals, I think. And there's a couple of different aspects I think we should discuss on this. There's a monetary element of this, but I kind of really want to talk about, I thought about this. I knew we were going to talk about this. I really wanted to speak about the mean-spiritedness of people in general sometimes.
Yeah.
And this thing to tear people down. This real sick kind of position that we have, and where people are doing well, for some reason society wants to be the ones that tear them down or contribute to these folks being tore down. Now, as you know, Prince, I'm not as familiar with the streaming aspect. I'm an older dude, so I'm not as familiar.
Oh man, we got into a debate about this.
But this is the thing, though. That doesn't mean that I neglect the work that it takes for somebody to build it. It does take work. As a matter of fact, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time,
right,
to do something like that. So just because of that, and if you just put it in a business structure,
Right.
That already gives me. I give them a ton of respect for doing it because it takes a lot to build anything that you do.
Right. Correct.
The individual that we're talking about is Stretch, right?
Sketch. Yeah. Big streamer, huge streamer.
Huge streamer, had a unique guy in the sense that he was able to basically, as I did some research on him, he would be playing Madden, is
That's
what he was
got
doing,
big
right?
on, yeah.
And the NFL picked him up because of these streams that he had done with playing Madden or whatever, and then he had a catchphrase that was called "What's up, my brother," like that.
What's up, brother?
Or "What's up, brother?" And then you had a lot of guys from a lot of different media platforms that would use his catchphrase or whatever. Well, it so happened that the gentleman ran into a little bit of a situation with his past, which everybody has a past, to be honest with you, bro. So the nature of the way that they did it, it's clearly mean spirited. I think it's dirt, as you know, and I told you this. I think it's dirtbally. I think it's very, very sketchy how somebody just did that to him. And well, they're like, "Oh, we just found it." Well, what were you doing looking over there? Like, there's some stuff on this to where it's like, it's yeah, you can find some of this stuff, but you got to be looking, or somebody has to lead you in the right direction or whatever. And I think it was so detrimental to the gentleman. He at very least thought about killing himself. It seemed that was something that was possibly there to where he knew
left
that
the face house and was preparing. Yeah.
That like, and that's a lot of people would say, "Oh, he's weak." No, he's not. It's a man that built a lot, put a lot of time into that, and you're watching your entire existence crumble right before your eye, and you're doing it in a public sphere, which is not like you what you going through, and then you deal with what you going through. He's being crucified in front of the world. That's wild, man. So I talked enough. What's your interpretation of that?
I think this shit is really sad. I agree with Austin. Austin said shit's hella whack. They did him dirty. I agree, just because I think if it was another creator, I might feel a little differently. So I can't go too in depth, but he's such a nice person from what's been shown to the world, and there's a lot of people backing him. I don't know what the point of going out of the way to try to out him on something like that would be,
right?
Besides ill intentions. I think he handled it the best he could. His video was funny and sad at the same time. Really, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't look at him any different. I love watching his stream still.
Right.
He can be gay. He could be whatever. I don't care. I think what the big issue with it was the fact that he put it on OnlyFans. I think that was the only issue.
Yeah. And like, this is the thing, though, you got to understand, right? And me being a bit older, Prince, that I have the benefit of the doubt of I have a track record of some of the stuff that I did as a young man are going to be canceled out by the consistency of me being older, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't had an opportunity to do that yet, right? So you're basically pegging him in real time for basically being young is basically what we're talking about, regardless of what he did, right?
And I mean, I was kind of off of what you're saying. I was watching a therapist video on him, watching his not apology, but when he's his response video. They were watching his response video and doing a review on it, and it seemed as if even the therapist was saying, like, the fact that he's saying that was 2 years ago and he's coming out saying that was him and kind of facing it head on is really the only way you can come about a situation like that.
You got to respect him for that.
Yeah, it's hands down. That's one of the hardest things he's probably going to have to do in his life, was making 100%. That video. And that the stuff you do in your past is only, how did he say it? I could probably find the video and find the quote, but I'll just sum it up. It's basically the stuff that he's done since then and the stuff that he will continue to do will
it'll drown that stuff.
It'll
out.
drown it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll drown
and
it out.
it'll.
It
You know
will
what I mean?
100%. There's something else I want to, and I want to talk to you. And this is, I see my daughter Carla's in this. It's actually the first time I think she's been in our chat stream. So I want to
Oh yeah.
give her a shout out, let her know how much I love her and appreciate her. But this is something that I kind of had to work through myself, being a little bit older. And I think that sometimes
What's up, Rocky?
you're not very honest. We're not very honest about our own deficiencies, especially how the world changes, right?
Right.
When it comes to things for my generation, you have the transgender community, you have the homosexual community. Typically, we have a tough time dealing with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when we came up, it was demonized, and
Even when I came up.
yeah, it's just something you don't do. My youngest daughter had a transgender friend. She has a transgender friend, and both of my daughters have had homosexual friends, right?
Right.
I have been better in my life at it. I probably wasn't as good as I probably should have been to them with it. Joked maybe too much because I was uncomfortable. So normally when you're uncomfortable with things, sometimes that's the way you get around it is through humor,
joke,
right?
Yep.
And we're a little bit more coarse in my generation of being just, I call it blunt force comedy, right?
Yeah.
We don't tiptoe around anything. We just kind of go into it or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I rubbed my kids the wrong way with some of my approach or whatever, right?
Right.
I think, and I'm not going to mention the individual's name because I don't think that that's fair, but my daughter did have a transgender a person.
Trust me, you've seen my siblings; they're all gay, and the
Right.
boys are all trans. So.
Right? Yeah, I got you.
Not the whole family, but in my mom's side, yeah.
And my younger sister was gay also too, right before she passed away. So we've had to kind of deal with this. She had a very, very hard time in our family before she passed away. There's really a lot of guilt within myself because there are a lot of things that I did in my younger life, not maliciously mean outward saying anything to her, but I definitely discluded her in a lot of things that she should have been discluded.
And the joking you probably
I didn't want to deal with that, right?
The jokes you probably threw out
and
were a
she
little.
used to, one of the things she wanted, because she liked to do music too, Prince, and she just wanted to do music with her brother. She just wanted to do that, but I am triangulating other things that I should as a brother, as the oldest one, right?
Yeah.
So I have a lot of regret for me. I have sleepless nights over it. Like she'll wake me up and I'll have to apologize to her for not being better in my space, right?
Right.
And that doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. It never goes away. It's going to always be there. But going back to the story of my daughter, I had felt that my daughter felt that she didn't know if I could be around this individual. She didn't think it was safe.
Right.
In the sense of like the way I acted in my mouth and all this other stuff. So I had to pull that young lady to the side and say, I'm very sorry. I explained to her just like I explained to you of my deficiency in time and generation and all these other things that I'm not making excuses for.
What's up, Jason?
But I'm trying to explain to her that I'm having issues with and I'm trying my best to work.
Right. Yeah.
But the main thing I wanted her to know was, and I wanted my daughter to know, if you're at my house, you're safe.
You're safe.
Nothing
Your family
will ever happen to you, regardless of my politics or whatever. You don't have to ever worry about any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're still a person.
Same thing, and that's like even if we go into gang talk, the same thing I tell my artists: you're safe here. We don't. It doesn't matter what we are, what we do. This is a safe place.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying.
And so I just, from your generation, because you're a bit younger, you're a little bit your pulse is, your fingers on the pulse more than mine when it comes to this stuff.
But there's stuff I still don't know about, which we're gonna get into here.
Okay, yeah, I got you. So hey, what's going on with it, Jason? How you doing, my brother? Love and miss you. Rocky, love and miss you. Nick, my brother Nicky Barnes, my man Nico B is in the building.
Is he in here? Not
yeah,
all
he's
the
in
comments
here.
are coming.
You gotta say what's up to him, man. We love that dude, man.
What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man.
Rapping the rivers, boy. August 16th and 17th. It's going down. Three Forks, Montana, y'all. The bridge in Three Forks. Let's
Wait,
do
what
this.
app are you watching on then? Are you on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
No. I'm on Facebook.
See, I'm on Facebook. I'm not seeing all these comments. Maybe it's because I'm not friends.
No. The thing is that I've noticed is I've looked at some of your phones sometimes or Tribes,
Yeah.
and you guys had comments that weren't on mine yet, and then it took some time
Oh,
for
okay.
my deal to catch up. So that's probably what it is.
Okay.
I don't know. Give me your opinion on just that whole thing, and then how it how that kind of bleeds into the situation with this young man, and basically somebody tried to ruin his life.
Yeah, so I think the person that outed him is probably thinking that more people are going to side with him would be your generation, or people that are super conservative, which I am conservative, but it doesn't mean I'm against a lot of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the big thing that was being said is he's going to lose his sponsorships. He's going to lose his following. He will get canceled. These are the things I'm hearing. I've been watching everybody's reactions all week. If I'm gonna be honest, so the NFL is kind of sketchy. He might have lost the NFL because they did delete everything associated with him. So I don't know the situation on that. I was just looking it up while we were starting. I don't know the situation on if he lost his sponsorships, but my point of view, I think it would matter. And from what we had our conversation, I think you're on the opposite end,
right?
Where you're saying it would matter. So let's get into that conversation. I think he makes too much money off of donations and subscriptions.
So let's do this to be fair to both of us on this, right?
Yep.
Because I would say that I'm more on what I call, and this is I'm more on the old money side. I think this is the best way to describe it, because somebody actually told me this.
Old money, new money.
Because I'm like, Prince is my partner. I have to be able to work with him, but I want him to know that I still respect his viewpoint.
Oh yeah. Guys, you guys don't even know we were in it in the chat this week.
Even though we're generationally from these other generations, and
what's up, Tucker?
What he basically, hey, what's up, Tuck? How you doing, my friend? What he basically explained to me is this. He said, "You're from the era of old money, right? You're from the era of hard assets."
Yeah.
He's from the era of soft assets, and what I mean by that is I come from old assets, real estate, something that's like bare bones, stick built
work
type of thing, right? Yeah. Tucker owns Tops. That's a hard asset, right?
Right.
You have, in your generation, has figured out how to have soft assets, which is the asset is the podcast or the streaming deal or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to touch, right?
Yeah.
So the way that my brain works with this whole thing about hard assets or soft assets, right? And I should have explained this better, which is something we were just talking about. It's like net worth and liquid worth, right?
Right.
Typically, what I used to have a hard time with learning, and I had some gentlemen through investments to kind of teach me this stuff, that was basically like, you're like when it's cute to say, well, what's your net worth? What's his net worth?
Right.
That's an arbitrary thing. That's not really a real thing.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter, right? What they explained to me is the only real thing that, and not to say that your net worth is not important, so I'm not saying that, but your liquid net is more important,
right?
Because that's actually what you can touch now. So if something came now, you don't have to go make a move.
And that's what Josh just said was something tangible.
Right. That's exactly right. So you don't have to make a move to get it, right?
Right.
That's typically how business is going to deal with you, right? Or when you're investing, one of the things they ask you when you're trying to come up with an equity group or whatever, they want to know what your liquid worth is, right? And it's just money you can touch right now. Like you don't have to make 1,000 moves to try to get to this money or whatever. So that's like cash, whatever, right? That's your liquid.
It's just there, ready.
I think that his liquid worth is probably going to be affected for a while, but his net won't be, because
Right.
he still has value to what he's doing and what that thing that he's built, right?
Right.
So I didn't explain that right. I just didn't explain.
See, that's
it
where
right,
we were
right?
going
Yeah,
back and
I just
forth
didn't
on that.
explain
Yeah.
that right, and that's just me being somewhat older and arrogant and thinking, well, you should know that. Well, you should have known because I didn't know it. Somebody had to show me that stuff, right?
Right.
So as you know, I've tried to come up with these investment groups for minorities outside of what we do or whatever.
Right.
Some of the reason is because when I would get in some of these investment rooms with folks, right, I was dumbfounded by what I didn't know versus what I thought I knew and how strong I thought I
Right.
was. And I wasn't even half as strong as I thought I was in a lot of certain things because I like what's an accredited investor?
I don't know.
If you're investing, how much do you have to your liquid need to be before they even allow you to do that? What's the Security and Exchanges Act? How does that affect us, right?
Right.
All of these things that all of these guys that you see, all these signs with these guys that are doing all this investment stuff, they're all a part of all this stuff and they're doing it. We're not, right? We'll go
Right.
out and buy, let's say, a property, right?
Mm-hmm.
One property or whatever, and we'll just use that property as the basis of where we stand from a financial standpoint in the system.
Okay.
And that's not a good parameter.
Yeah. No.
That's really not a good parameter, right? And so I've had to learn all of these things and humble myself enough to know that, as you said, which I want to apologize because I didn't want you to feel like you're dumb.
No, you're good.
And
You're
I
good.
don't. But I had to humble myself and realize there were elements of things that I was dumb. Like, and not because something's wrong with me, but I just didn't have the information
Right.
so that I can make a better assessment of whatever the situation was.
Right.
So I think when it comes to him and what he's doing, I think his liquid will be affected.
And it probably
Right?
that most definitely will.
But I think he can maintain his net worth. Like Kanye West is another one, right?
Right.
People would always say Kanye West before all this stuff happened to him, he was worth between 3.6 billion or 6 billion. He
Mhm.
kept saying 10, right?
Right.
I kept saying, I don't care about none of that stuff. What is his liquid worth?
Right.
That's what the real number is, where he's really at, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you notice how you never hear that.
I've never.
Have you
Yeah.
ever
I've never
heard anybody
that.
talk about like what Kim Kardashian's liquid worth really is?
No, but it's probably fucking stupid.
It is stupid, but I guarantee you it's way less than what her
What
net
her
worth
net
is,
worth
right?
is.
So
That's true.
in anything we do in life, we're always going to probably go with the bigger number. We're going to go with the bigger number. So the net worth number is always going to be prettier.
Right. Right.
So that's kind of where I was going with that. And I know it's
true.
long-winded, but I want to explain to you because I think I was condescending and disrespectful to you in a sense that I don't think you deserve.
It's all good, man.
A
Water
lot
under
of
the bridge.
it wasn't intentional. It's that I have to remember, just like a lot of other people and where I've been in my life, he doesn't. You gotta explain that to him. You just can't assume they knew all that stuff.
Right.
Man.
Right.
So apologies, my brother.
Hey, no worries. Water under the bridge, man.
So what else do you think about that from your perspective?
So yes, I do think the money probably is going to go down a little bit, especially from what I've been seeing, and I think he's taking a little step back. He's still going to be streaming, but taking a little step back. So I think the money is going down, but it is weird how that being brought up. Everybody does always talk about your net worth.
Right.
How much are you worth? What's
Right.
your net worth? But like when I think about money, you're right. I always think about how much can you pull right now? What can you do right this second?
That's that, honestly. And I'm not saying net worth is not important, fam. I'm not saying that.
No.
I'm just saying that's the real parameter right there. That's
what do you got right
Yeah.
there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had another combo I wanted to get into today. They were talking about it on the show yesterday. I was filling in for Tribe on the Vibe. Shout out to Tucker.
Love you, Tuck, bro.
So
Love that guy.
maybe
man.
you know something about this. I don't know the exact act that it's called, but it has to do with businesses, small private owned businesses.
Right.
If you make under 5 million a year, or if you have over 21 full-time employees, you have to fill out a paper and send it into the government. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
So you might know what it was called, but
so
I don't know
what is there something you're trying to do, or somebody you know that's trying to do something they're affected in this spectrum? Or
I definitely think I don't think I am, from what they said, since I'm a sole proprietor, but a
Right.
lot of the homies are LLCs. I think ours is an LLC.
right.
So we'll have to fill it out at the end of the year. It takes like 90 to 650 minutes.
It's the Corporate Transparency Act, and that's
There you
what Tuck is saying right there.
Let me pull that up. There we go.
A thing too, a lot of people do is when they're starting their business up, whether you're a sole proprietorship, you're an LLC, a co-corp, whatever it is that you are, a lot of times people don't actually know what they're doing on the lower level. I would suggest.
Oh, it may be illegal. Oh shit.
And so when we're dealing with tax code or anything in the country, right? These are things that are thousands and thousands of pages in them, right?
Right.
The way that the government typically works with this stuff, right, is there's a kind of a gentleman agreement between you, the government, and me, the consumer or the individual,
Right.
that these documentations, like Tucker says, are valid and legal. A lot of times there's some stuff in there that can be challenged, and that's why you see very good lawyers and folks with a lot of money that can then go in and re-challenge some of this stuff, and then it comes in front of the Supreme Court, that stuff gets changed.
Right.
It was never legal, but no, you didn't challenge it because you're not on page 5,675, and you're not able to discertain from this amount of information or this amount of information and why. Well, this counteracts this, so it can't be both of them.
Right.
So what's up or whatever. So I think he's right. Having a great CPA, a financial advisor, having somebody that can walk you through some of this stuff when you have a business and why you do certain things,
Right.
I think is a valuable task that most people should take. We just don't, because if it's too much work, I mean, because really it takes you about 15 minutes to set up an LLC.
Yeah.
It don't take that much time to do it, right?
Right.
It takes a lot of time to run it right, though.
Yeah. Definitely.
So it depends, right?
Yeah.
Typically what I do with my investment group, what we do, right? We have an investment group, and then we have holdings based on an LLC that we all invest in the holding. Every single thing that we do in that investment group is its own LLC. You have a lot of people that think, well, I'll just have an LLC and have all these things you do. I would advise against that. That's not what you want to do. I don't care what anybody tells you. That is absolutely not what you want to do. You have each individual thing set up as its own LLC, and that gives you some maximum flexibility on a number of different levels. So that's how we set it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have those properties on the south side. That's the way that we set them all up. They're each individually their own thing. Now, that thing may have 10 separate things inside of it, right? So the thing on the south side we have, it's called the Nine Sisters. It's when we started, it was 9 sister houses on a block, right? It's morphed into 13 or whatever it is right now. But that when we do our other investments, it ain't the 9 sisters. The other one's called something different.
Right.
And it's something different. Now it's the same 10, 15 people involved in it, but it's just something different. So typically that's how we set that up.
And so they were saying technically you would have to fill out forms for all of those.
Yeah.
But that's not legal, is what Tucker's saying.
Let's see. Let me read what Tuck said.
For them to do that. For them to
Yeah. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know much about it. I just thought it was interesting when they were talking about it, and that could affect a lot of different business owners.
It can and like he said, maybe this is the land of gray. And I think Tucker would agree. There's just a land of gray Some of this shit is arbitrary. Some of it's very foggy.
Right.
If you know anybody that's read, like I bet you, the Corporate Transparency Act. If you know anybody that knows that thing from the back, let me know, because I've never met a person that knows the whole thing.
Right.
Or the Security Exchange Act. Or just the tax code in general. You know elements of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whether it's even the ACA, the they call Obamacare. People don't know.
I was just looking at that shit.
People don't know that whole thing, man. They just don't.
Right.
Because it's so much information in it. There's contradictory information all throughout it, and it's always being contested.
Did you know that there's only like 2 months you can fill out insurance?
What do you mean?
There's only 2 months you can sign up for insurance unless you were dropped or like there's other situations.
I did not realize that. No.
My dad used to have State Farm or whatever, and not have it. He was the big guy there. And so I lost my insurance a couple of months ago. This is just because you brought up the Obamacare. That's why I was looking at it.
Yeah.
So my insurance went out, and he was like, "You better get on it because you only have 60 days. Otherwise, you can't for the rest of the year until I don't remember what months he said, but there's only a few months that you could sign up for it."
Right.
But back to what you were saying. I just didn't know if you knew that. I thought it was interesting.
And Windows are it streamlines, right? That's what the government's what they want to do is they want to streamline everything, because the bottleneck gives you the maximum control, right?
Right.
And that's what all of this stuff is about. All this stuff is just about control, being able to control you. I mean, if you just look at typically how we operate in this country, you own this house, right? You buy a house, right?
Right.
You buy it. The day you pay it, right? If you miss your property tax, they'll come back and take it.
Oh, really?
They'll take your house. And that's a bill that never goes away.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
On a paid house.
I'm about to go live in the forest.
So do you own this or whatever? Or
You're borrowing.
Or now are you effectively renting?
Yeah, technically.
Right? Now, you can sell it or whatever, but the property tax element of it is still attached to it no matter what you do, right?
Right.
Look at the numbers of people that have lost their houses from not paying property tax, right? That's a crazy thing, right?
But then they should give you your money back for buying the house.
Everything that we have is ultra tax, right?
Yeah.
They take taxes out of whatever,
your work
roads,
paycheck,
bridges, or whatever.
We're lucky that we don't have sales tax here.
Right?
That'd
then
be
you're
nuts.
retaxed on your money again. They double tax on your money. They do a lot of different little things that we do, right? Which is why people complain about the taxing system. And we have a misnomer. When we talk about 1776, which was the creation of the country, we often get into this conversation about we went to war with Britain because we were overtaxing free tax. That's not true. We went to war to control taxing.
Right.
We went to war to control taxing, not eliminate taxing.
Yeah.
So when they say, "Oh, we want to go back to 1776," it's funny to me as a conservative that
we do own weed, but that's going away.
That's right. That's not a real statement, because
we
didn't fight the war to eliminate taxes. We fought it to control taxing over what people would say is a breakfast beverage, which is tea.
Yeah,
that's the Boston Tea Party and all these things that created from it, right? So that's kind of what it's like. Even if you look at the marijuana industry, the marijuana industry right now is, I think, unlawfully overtaxed.
Yes,
in a crazy way. Like, but because this,
what are we here in Montana? We're like 23% tax on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's anywhere. I mean, if you do it anywhere.
Is that what it is everywhere? It's 23%?
Well, no, because each state controls their taxing, but every state, California's is worse, I think.
Is it?
But the thing is with that is it's a tax. You know, if there wasn't tax money or tax revenue being generated from this, it wouldn't be legal. They wouldn't do it, right? There is a monetary element to doing this. That's why they're doing this stuff, right?
Tucker says, need more transparency around government spending. Then taxes make sense. Without that, no taxes. I agree. I would like to know where my money is going. I'm sure everybody else would like to know where their money is going. That's hard-earned American dollars.
And that's the thing. Like, why are you like? And Tucker's right. The problem is, why are you taxed again and again? You're taxed every year. You buy a car, right? You pay a particular tax to buy the car. Then you're taxed every year for your register the vehicle. Yeah. That's a tax, right? Yeah. So you're taxed to be able to do that. Then you're taxed again because now you have to have insurance on the car. So now you're taxed every month to be able to access and operate the vehicle, right? Yeah. Then you're taxed again after so many years because now you have to go renew your license or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they give you free. You go back in and you take a test. You have to pay for that stuff. Yeah. Everything that we do is set up to be taxed, retaxed, and then retaxed again, right? Yeah. It is to how many times can you squeeze juice out of the turnip? The United States government has found out a hell of a way to continue to continue to do it, right? And even going back into the conversation with the gentleman that had the situation on OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans charges you a tax to use it. Yeah. Your streaming stuff charges us a tax. Oh, yeah. Our stuff charges us a tax to do this stuff every month. We got to pay a certain fee to do it. Yeah. They call it a subscription. It's a tax. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So I'm just saying, man, everything is tax, right? Oh, you die and you want to leave your money to your kids? They tax that money you've already paid taxes on to let them access it. Think about that. You already paid tax on that money.
You know, another big crazy thing about when you die, that's a big financial burden, is if you don't put like everything that you own, say in like your name and somebody else's name, or your name and whoever you would want to leave it to, that they have to go jump through a bunch of legal hoops to even get that shit.
Now, who gets it if they can't figure it out?
The government.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's insane. So Maddie and I are going to be putting everything in our names. You guys, I suggest you do it with your significant other. If you guys are that strong, if you're at that point in your relationship, or you do it with somebody that you know you care about and that you would want to see them well off after you're gone. Sorry, that was a weird transition. I just, when you said that was my family. Right, my family has friends that she just lost her husband of like 80 years or something, but everything was like his motorcycle, their camper, right, his car, it was all in his name, even because they weren't thinking he was going to die soon, right? And yeah, now she's having to jump through legal hoops and all this stuff, even to sell a motorcycle that was theirs, right? And to see, and Prince, the problem with it is because you don't assume you're going to die, right. It's not like you have some sickness and there's a drawn out period most of the time, right? And there's this drawn out period to where there can be preparation within it, right? Yeah. Normally it's some shit happens, boom, and then you're into the cycle or whatever, right? Yeah. So there's no real preparation to get ready for this shit. The government banks on this stuff. Yeah. They make money off that. Yeah, they bank on all of it. They realize that. They realize that we are going to be over leveraged and underprepared on most things that we do in our life. Yeah. Those are the two definitive things that we're going to be, right? Yeah. You know, underprepared and over leveraged. That's just who we are, right? It's the reason why we go into debt at the rate we go into debt or whatever. And then we have this really great thing that we call bankruptcy that basically excuses bad behavior. Yeah. It does, right? And sometimes I understand you get sick or whatever. It used to be, it's kind of different now, but you get these huge medical bills or whatever, something, life changing happens and it can ruin you financially. Yeah. But a lot of times it's because people are buying houses, cars, and boats that they can't afford. And you give them basically I'm almost there on that car right there. Right. So getting there. It's getting stressful. That's why you didn't the government fail a bunch of audits over the years, like $2 billion? Holy shit. Yes. Absolutely. And I often wonder why we're however many $1 trillion in debt we are. So how do you lose $2 billion? So we're actually, I think, $35 billion in national debt. Oh, so we're not in the trillions anymore. Or not billions. I'm sorry. Excuse me. My son just walked in, y'all. Trillions, 36 trillion. Okay. But
right? But this is the thing. This is where it gets people don't understand this, right? That's in the national debt, right? That's the national debt.
Right.
When we have liabilities and bonding and all of these other um, things that we have to pay as a society, right? The number's really around $100 trillion.
Gross. Tucker said a lot of black ops programs that there's no accountability for also.
Yes. So,
well, what is that? Would that account to that, or is that accounting to the government taking all of our information and taxes?
as in what way?
Where he's saying a lot of black ops programs there's no accountability for also.
Well,
he's talking about losing
any of
the
our
money.
government, any of our national security, not any. A lot of them, they're off the books or they're black programs, as he said, right? And in these programs, there's no accounting for them, right? So what the government does is, so when they say that we spend $800 billion a year in military defense spending, right?
Right.
That's in one-to-one transactions with contract for deeds.
So that's what's
business,
accounted
right?
for.
It's the numbers probably in 3-4 trillion. It's probably something like that. I would assume it might even be more, but it's probably something closer to that. Because a lot of the militaristic approach that we have is all,
right.
It's all behind a closed door.
That's what he just said too. He said there. That's likely where the money is. Hidden programs. Contractors make a shitload of money. We overpay even for contracts that are accounted for.
Did you ever see a movie called? It's a good movie if you haven't seen it. I don't know if you watch movies.
I do.
It's called War Dogs.
I have watched War Dogs.
Okay, now War Dogs,
where he is the contract.
Okay, this is how that
the middleman for the contractors.
That shit works,
yeah,
right. Now it's Hollywood or whatever. There's some elements that are wonky, but that's how that shit works.
That is the one where he's flying the plane to take the guns. It's like
so that's
they're taking the guns back and forth.
Hill,
yeah,
and
Jonah Hill.
And they're basically a ammunition.
Ammunition arms dealers
is what they are, right? And
for the government, though.
Remember, they had the thing to where it was weight. They bought these rounds from, I think they must have been in.
They had to change it from Chinese packaging to
or somewhere. It was somewhere like that. I don't know. It was Belarus, something like that. And then they figured out, we'll take them out of the crates, put them in plastic bags, and just by doing that, this shit is going on. And Bradley Cooper's character said they don't care where this shit comes from. They only care if they can use it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be on a battlefield and say, "Man, these are Chinese ammunitions in here, bro. We shouldn't be using these."
Right.
You're gonna use it or whatever you need to use to get out of
or you're
the situation, or you're dead, right?
Yeah.
So, and those are just two dudes that just had a deal that showed up and had a line and then made a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah.
Selling munitions, buying munitions on the black market, and then reselling them back to the United States government.
What's kickbacks?
So a kickback is like you have a government agency and I need something from you, right? And I need the contract.
Yeah.
Right? And I say, if you give me the thing, there's a 10% kicker on the back of this for you. So whatever profit is,
you make 10%.
You'll make 10% of it, or a flat fee, or however they set.
So that's kind of what Nick was talking about last week. So he gets kickbacks from setting up concerts.
Which
at the
there's
venues.
Kickbacks on everything you do, right?
Yeah.
There's when you buy a house, right? The person that sells your house gets a kickback. They call it a commission.
Yeah, commission
fees.
Kickback,
okay. Right?
Yeah.
It's the same theory. So I'm not saying it's wrong because you'll have some of my real estate friends that'll be like, you've been making it like it's illegal. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not saying that. Like, you're doing exactly what you're supposed
just
to
taking
do. Just
more money, basically.
Now, what I'm saying on the other side, that's illegal. You ain't supposed to be doing that. That's illegal, getting a government kickback on a contract.
Right.
That's outside of whatever the contract is. That's illegal.
Right.
In a commission-based business, that kickback you get for selling that helping sell that property or whatever,
right?
That's legal within the way the system is structured. So there's no issue with that.
Right.
So
Well, shit. Is that a good place to start wrapping up? I know you got work. I got some sessions coming up.
Oh yeah. So
It was a
I mean,
shorter
we
episode
had a
today.
short show, but I think maybe probably did the most work as far as substance
Yeah,
in a while, just having this particular episode. So it was short, but it was,
packed.
I'm sure people will want us to come back and reconvene this at some point with Tribe
We
and get
we
his
will.
opinion on some of this stuff.
And Tribe knows a lot, especially about that sketch situation from both of our viewpoints.
Right.
So,
And he was more in the middle.
yeah,
Like,
he was in the
understood
middle.
both sides, right? And
Yeah.
I don't necessarily even think you and I were far apart. We were just on two sides of the ship,
And we
just
have two
concentrating
different
on
ways of explaining things.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I don't think that we're far away. I think that
Guys, I said Fred was trying to make me look stupid in our group chat.
and I really wasn't. But I after I
He was like, "I'll come say it to your face." I was like,
honestly, after I look back at the chat, because I go back and read them. I knew
you literally.
I was pretty condescending to him. Like
I knew
that
what you
ain't
meant,
what I'm supposed to be doing, bro.
I knew you weren't trying to be condescending, but I was just like, "Fuck." If Fred shows up to my house to talk to me about business at midnight, I'm going
It's
to
literally
fucking die.
like at midnight too. The shit was
Yeah,
at
it was
midnight too. So
I was like, I'm gonna fucking die if he comes over here and starts business
it's-
talk with me.
and so just before we get off, I got to give you a little background so you know.
And you know I
really
didn't take it no way.
OGs when I was younger.
Yeah,
spend
you're
time
OGs to me.
to talk about shit like that. Like a lot of this shit I found out trial and error, losing money throughout life,
Right.
doing the wrong business move
Yeah.
because I didn't have somebody higher astute to be able to say, yeah, that's not the right move.
And that's
this
not
is the
and that's
reason
not
why
necessarily,
you can't do this,
like
right?
when I say something, it's nice to have you interject sometimes and say that's not necessarily true. Try looking at it from this point of view. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that just helps put different ideas and perspectives into my mind about how we're making money, how we can make money, and where we're getting this money from. You know what I mean?
And so, and you were right on this point. I purposely was like, I gotta tell him he was right. I don't want him to feel a certain way. When it comes to the new model of DAZN or NBC TV Peacock subscription, right? Streaming makes more money than those subscriptions, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's true. You're not wrong about that.
Right.
I was thinking the entire network.
I've never even watched network TV, so I didn't know what you were.
And so that's what I was thinking. When I'm thinking TV, I'm counting the streaming and the network portion of it, right? So that's why I was like, that's crazy. Like what you saying,
there's
right?
no way. When you said those numbers, I was like, holy shit.
So and that's both combined, right? That's the entire makeup of the thing,
network.
Right?
Yeah.
But streaming, when you talk about subscription, and I think a lot of times, like you take Game Pass and shit like that, right?
Yep.
And I know you know about this.
Yep.
I think there are a lot of times they get capped out. I think Microsoft's biggest problem going forward with Game Pass is growth.
Right.
Because you only can grow in all of them. If you notice, like Netflix and all of them, right? Look at Netflix 4 years ago, what their subscription is, and then look at the last 2 years, how many new subscribers. And it's not like it was. It ain't growing like that, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a ceiling on what you can do because you involve internet provider, internet service, how you get them. A lot of times I have a lot of people I work with that live in rural areas that would get all that shit. They can't access it because they don't have a strong enough internet source to get it.
Yeah,
so they can't have it, right?
Yeah, right.
So until our infrastructure goes totally to something like fiber optic or something like that,
where everybody has the same,
the growth is going to be minimal. So Microsoft is going to have to eat shit probably for 5 years, I'd assume 10 years until the infrastructure gets built.
Right.
I don't know if they will, but if they do, Game Pass.
You think it'll be 5 years before we have fiber optics? I thought it was like a couple of years down the line.
No. So I've been trying to get fiber optics at my house. I live right around the corner from you, right?
Yeah.
Just on the other side of Broadwalk.
Yeah.
I was supposed to get it this year. I was originally supposed to get it in last year from a company called TDS, right?
Yeah, TDS is the one.
And I was going to get like 2 gigs, right? What I got now is like 300 to 500 MBSs or whatever, right? That's and my upload and my what is it? My upload or my download speed? I can't remember. Was like 34. With TDS, it's like 200. Right, or something like that, like something crazy, right?
Yeah.
You would never. There would be no buffering. All that shit would be gone.
My network speed is at 5 gigahertz. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, so, no. It's at 432 MBS.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So a fiber basically puts you on into the 1 gigs.
Okay.
Right? Into the gigs. Yeah. Right? So and you can go up there. Once we get the fiber optic network built the way we did with cable,
right, to everywhere.
Remember when we got cable, it changed everything. Like internet totally changed.
I don't know if I was around when we got cable. I might have been a little kid.
Dial-up used to be like this. And you make all these crazy ass noises, right? And
I wasn't there for that,
bro. You nothing. Like you see how you just go click on shit?
Yeah.
No, you would click on shit and you'd have a bar, and the bar would kind of go up over 20,
I think I've seen it in old
30
YouTube
minutes
videos,
or whatever it was, and then you get to the page, right? The first time I ever used cable and my shit I clicked on it and it just went revolutionary, bro. Changed. I didn't care how much it cost. I was gonna pay it,
instant,
right?
Yeah,
didn't matter.
Yeah,
we're gonna go through the same thing with fiber optic is going to be another jump like that.
And then you think TV streaming, not the TV networks. Then you think it will.
There won't be any networks. It'll all be streaming.
Right. Okay.
It's all going to be streaming. Everything's going to be streaming. Like
on demand type shit.
You ain't going to never buy a movie. There's not going to be any physical media. All that shit's going away. It's all going away, right? Because there's why would a company pay the money to make a physical copy when I can just send it?
Yeah.
And you can just access it through the portal right there of streaming. You
constantly
won't do it. It's just cheaper to do it that way, right?
Yeah.
You make more money. So that at some point, everything we do will be streaming. There won't be any cable networks.
Yeah.
None of that shit. They'll all be gone because you'll be able to access whatever you want whenever you want. Right? That's just the way it is. But what I was going to go back with that TDS shit is I want TDS bad because I've actually been to places with fiber optic and I've seen it work.
Right.
Download a movie in 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, the movie is right there.
Xbox games.
Fucking crazy shit, right?
My Xbox games take on average 5 to 10 minutes. You're saying it would be
5 seconds. So, with that having been said, I was supposed to get it at the end of last year. Then they told me the end of this year. I just called them 2 weeks ago. Was like, hey, I haven't got an update. Where we at? What's the date of getting our fiber optic over here?
Yeah.
And this chick was like, May of 2028. I said, 4 years from now?
That's nuts.
Oh, we're having some issues with permitting and this and that and all this other shit. Same shit.
Yeah.
We went through, but the difference with cable is cable already was installed because they already got cable lines.
Yeah.
So it's easier for them to do.
They have to make these
lines.
They're
really having to put in lines and boxes and all this other shit to make.
You guys heard him
work.
Just censor himself on our fucking show. You said put in lines.
Sorry, crazy. Man. I do that. You guys, what are you saying? Say what you want to
just say it.
But anywho, though, fam, it was a great show.
No, good show.
Like I said, I apologize, man.
No need. I apologize too for pushing back hard.
We just had a difference of opinion. I think that we can address it behind closed doors, but it's good that they see us address this type of stuff too.
Oh yeah,
because we live in an era of non-conflict resolution, anyways.
Big facts.
And we've seen enough people be killed and died
over little things.
We have no ability to do that right now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What's your shout outs today, man? See, I said it right, guys. I've been practicing all week, not shouts outs.
I'm definitely gonna shout you out for doing this or whatever. You had some other stuff going on and you still made a way for us to do this, so that's pretty cool.
We're good.
I want to give a shout out to Tribe. I'm not in a position to say anything about his situation, but I want to let him know from the Justice League podcast and us as his friend, we love him. Whatever he needs, he can always reach out to us. So we want to let him know and the family and Hill and the kids and everybody know.
Tough time for him.
Yeah, tough time. Rough. It's rough. And then my kids, all my children, babies, mamas, family members, and just the public in general, man. I'm in awe that they mess with us the way they mess with us with this stuff. And another thing I'm going
What's
to
up,
do,
Sebastian?
there is a Jacques show coming up. You guys, please
The
go to this
18th.
show. Y'all, please go out and go to this show, regardless of the situation. Go out and support that stuff. It takes these people a lot of work to do to get these shows to operate.
Oh yeah.
And don't forget, we Rapping the Rivers is August 16th and 17th in at the bridge in Three Forks, Montana. We have these right here.
We need you guys to go share the page, invite all your friends,
Go
screenshot
share
when
the
you do it,
page.
send it to us. We got tickets for you.
We have tickets. And if you share the page and send us a screenshot on the Justice League page, you get free tickets. You get free tickets.
And I'm gonna let you guys know right now, nobody did it last episode, so someone please start doing it. You know, what
please, you guys know some people that probably want these tickets to go. Nick has done a fabulous job putting together a great card or whatever, and he's giving you so much value for the money. It's stupid.
He called it a B-list card, and I looked over it, and I really don't. I think he was wrong with that one. Guys, I'm into music. I'm into underground music. I'm into mainstream music. He has Montana of 300 on the card. If any of you guys were alive, fucking 7 years ago, one of the biggest artists of that time. Montana of 300 is a huge artist. Also, Dizzy Wright. We show out for Dizzy Wright here in Billings. You guys show out for him in Bozeman. I know Helena does too. So let's all get together, go to Rapping in the Rivers, and show out for our locals that are also performing with Dizzy Wright and with Montana 300. I think those are two very A-list names that, you know, we can't call it a B-list when we have those names on there.
And just think about how many people are on that card, 50 or more?
I think more now. And he's adding still, I'm pretty sure.
Just do an arithmetic problem, right? For everybody. Those tickets are $100 for 2 days.
What's good, Dino? I remember the name now.
$100 for 2 days, right? And you get 50 to 75 different artists. You ain't gonna get better value for your money ever.
Only at festivals, but not festivals aren't even normally that big with that many artists.
Even Coachella, you're not getting that. I mean,
I think Coachella's like maybe 30
you get a Drake or some crap like that or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, you ain't getting 70.
You're getting 5 Drake songs. You're getting about 500 songs out of these.
It ain't gonna be what you think.
Yeah.
So this is great value, a great card. Nick.
Big shout out to Nick.
Very, very hard to put this together, and his sponsors and his people up there doing it.
Right.
Us as Billings, one of the questions that I asked him was, what do we need to do better to help him in what they're trying to do?
Right.
I can tell you folks what it is. Go.
Yeah.
Go.
And if you can't go, the big thing is support. Post. Go share,
yes.
Invite. You can still get these tickets and give them out to somebody you know wants to go.
Yes.
Just an idea.
So,
any more shout outs?
Tino, I see Tino in there. Love you, brother. We got a short show today, man. You're going to have to go back and watch it, man. You got to get your butt out here, man, because you're on this Rapping the Rivers card with me, too. Prince is going to be there, too. So,
yeah,
we got some work to do on this, fellas. So, I don't know. I hope Danielle's able to make it out there too. I think she may be gone.
Do you want me to ask her about the show next week? I could get her on. I was going to ask her about today, but I just didn't know with what we were doing. So
yeah, it's about time. So
we'll get her on.
Let's get her definitely on. But other than that, man, just shout out to my folks out of CHS. That's old Big Matt, Dusty, Tim, Jeremy, Carl.
Who's the guitar player?
Carl.
You said Jeremy. You can call
Joe, Trent, Allison, Will, Tom, Kylan, Eben. Who am I missing? If I'm missing anybody, sorry, but shout out to you. Love you.
If he's missing you, you aren't on top of his head. Shout out to motherfucking Madison, of course. She went up and was cleaning her mom and her man's house today. We've been dealing with some house issues, so she's been really on top of helping me get everything figured out. Got my phone fixed today because she talked me into it. Shout out to Hill, of course. I hope she's doing well. Shout out to Tribe. We miss you, bud. We can't forget this. You can do the shout out to the sponsor. That was.
And we definitely got to shout out our sponsor, Craig Hensel for Hensel Law. Without, Craig does a lot for us. He makes a lot, possible driving business.
We need him on another episode.
Yeah, we definitely got to get him on another episode. And Craig's he's a great attorney, but he's also an even better human being.
Really nice guy.
He's a great guy just to be around, and his abundance of information of the things that he knows in his particular genre of work, but also just in life in general.
And he's helping Tribe and Hill out right now. So
yeah, he's fantastic. So
all you guys that love Hill and Tribe, make sure you guys any of your law needs, go check out Hensel and Law.
Hensel Law.
Make sure Hensel Law, and make sure you guys just check them out when you need help with any accident claims and stuff.
With personal injuries, make sure you go through Hensel Law. So other than that, man, I think we can get out of here, man, and you can get back to doing what you need to do, man, and I can go put in another 12 hours.
Oh, here, read this real quick, and then we'll get out of here. This is for you, Fred. Okay. I got word from the wife that she wants me to start looking for work down there in Billings before we make the move. So y'all help her brother out with a job out there.
That's
with
Tino.
A good job. Haha.
Got you.
We got you, man.
Tino message me. I'll call you, brother, and we will get that accomplished.
And it's been episode 4, season 2 of the Justice League. We are out. It was good to see you guys. We'll see you guys next Saturday at noon, our scheduled time. A little bit late today, like I said, things going on. But we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you for watching. Au revoir.
Peace.